It's Christmas time.
And we are live. We're not late. You're just early.
And this is not pre-recorded. I'm just singing Christmas music 20 days after the New Year.
Yeah. Don't question it, please. All right. We've got actually quite a few topics tonight.
It's a lot of topics.
Starting off with a LastPass password storage. Was it a leak or was it a outage? An outage?
I understand it was an outage. You couldn't sign in.
Gotcha. I did not look into that, so my video title is incorrect. It's not a LastPass leak. I probably should change that, actually.
Well, the internet leaked out of the servers. Or not the internet, the power leaked out of the servers.
Gotcha. LastPass outage. Not really sure how that updates, because there's no save button, but hopefully it updates in real time. Then we've got some more topics. GTA 6 looks like it might actually be on the workbench. Does that mean for test benching?
No, that means that people might actually be working on like a storyline.
Like they're working on building it. Gotcha. That kind of workbench.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Like a desk.
Don't unplug things in an airport.
That's gonna be a really fast topic.
That looks kind of interesting, though. It's an interesting title. Can you really regulate AI? It's a good question. A toy car that has real car physics, but not really.
They imitate how the physics should work.
Is this in a game or is this a
real
physical
RC car? But the way they do it kind of just had me mind blown rather than how a actual car does physics.
Gotcha.
If you ever owned a Chromebook and you're like, man, I wish I could play a AAA title, you might be able to here shortly with Steam coming over to Chrome OS, or at least Google wants it to.
Favicons. Favicons are now in your Google search. Do you know what a favicon is? And did you notice? We'll tell you, and we'll explain.
And then I have an opinion on this that you probably disagree with.
We'll see.
Another VR headset released by Lenovo, because that is what we need, is another cheap headset in the marketplace.
Competition.
It's almost like no one could build a competitive high-end gaming headset.
And they have their own controllers.
Lucky us.
Watch the video. Watched it.
I'm curious on your opinions on it.
Okay. Yep. So this is a video about AI facial recognition being used by the police.
So we're going to have to do this topic with the regulating AI.
Gotcha.
They're going to have to go together.
Makes sense.
I just decided to spread everything out.
7 things your Android phone can do that iPhone owners can only dream of.
I read it. I kind of disagree with some of them. As an Android user, I was like, oh, I don't use 6 of these.
Yeah, that's kind of what I expected. But I think lists seem to be like a good thing to talk about. So
yeah,
what the heck. Also, this brilliant hidden iPhone feature shows one of iOS's biggest advantages over Android.
If this is the only advantage iOS
it's a joke. Did you read it?
Yeah.
It's a joke. Also, the article is super long for the one single thing.
Yeah. It was really long.
Yeah.
Because I actually read it.
I was just looking for the thing, and it took me a while to find it.
I'm just a slow reader.
Even though they included a screenshot. No, I didn't read it.
Oh.
No, trust me. Speaking of not reading it.
Mixer. No one's watching it.
Yep.
It's dying. Even though they have the biggest streamers like Nephew Tech and Jmart Media.
And Shroud and Ninja.
Yeah, we're live.
If you're more into gaming. Yo, we talked about this phone before. We're talking about the Pine 64 smartphone again. Apparently it's shipping out.
It's like a pine tree or something.
For a mere $150.
I was looking at it. I got a couple opinions on it now.
Okay, that's good. I want to hear your opinions because I was actually kind of thinking about buying a Google Pixel 3a, which we discussed before.
Yeah.
But, hey, you never know.
There's one line of fine print on it that I really don't like.
Gotcha. We'll talk about that. And a SpaceX rocket explodes mid-flight. Is it as bad as it sounds? No, it was on purpose.
I was about to say, would you rather explode mid-flight or once it's landed?
Oh, that would be so disappointing.
Like it lands fully.
Guys, we're on the moon.
Oh, no, I meant back on Earth. Like it landed back on Earth and then just...
Yeah. Well, there's a reason they explode it in the air. We'll talk about that. But
okay,
it's
cool.
it's
they did
safer
purpose.
In the air, yeah.
I would imagine it's safer in the air than on the ground.
Yeah, because on the ground there are people in the air. Yeah.
There's less people.
There's less people flying around. Poor birds.
Yeah.
Anyway, starting off with LastPass.
So do you think there are more birds in the air or on the ground?
On the ground.
Oh, you think there's more birds on the ground?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Well, not on the ground, but in trees and that kind of thing.
Yes.
There are more birds not flying than there are flying at this moment.
Conclude that like penguins or ostriches.
No,
this is
let's
flying
not.
birds.
Yeah, let's yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
We'll look it up. We'll get back to you next week.
We'll
LastPass. So I give a lot of grief to people who use password managers.
If you don't know what LastPass is a password manager. And the way a password manager works is, I'm assuming there's a add-on to your browser. So you install an add-on to Chrome, an extension to Chrome, and then this add-on, LastPass, saves the passwords that you use for certain websites. So you log into gmail.com, enter in your username, and then LastPass fills in the password for you, after you've obviously given LastPass your password.
That, or you can log in like Facebook or email or anything. You would log into LastPass, and then you search for the account you want to log into.
Oh, interesting.
And you can get the key there.
Cool.
And it's just like a long jumbled string.
And the advantage of that is that your password is harder to brute force to hack into.
Yep.
Because your password is just random. It's not going to be your birth
it's not
date.
Gonna be Nephew Tech 2020.
Because you don't set it. LastPass just generates a random password for you.
Yep.
And another advantage is that if you log into your LastPass account on a different computer, you can still access those accounts. You don't have to remember the password for every account. You just have to remember one password for LastPass. Now, the disadvantage of that
is if their servers go down.
Because then you log into your computer, you log into your LastPass account, and you can't get your passwords from LastPass.
It says exactly this. It goes, an error has occurred while contacting the LastPass server. Please try again later.
And the other disadvantage is if something happens to LastPass's database, like if someone sees the passwords there. Or fire, yeah, that's true.
If this whole server warehouse catches on fire.
Yeah, then you could just totally lose all your passwords.
Yeah.
Or, in the event of a data breach, someone else could get all your passwords just in one fell swoop. To be honest, I think that's,
I know a lot of people who use I know a couple people that use LastPass.
Yeah, didn't LastPass have a leak a little while ago too? Or was that a different
I think that was
manager?
Another one.
Okay. There's a few different password managers like this out there. But that's like the advantages and disadvantages, and this was one of the disadvantages.
Yeah, here's another screenshot someone sent over. It was much more of a Windows-looking error. So I think that they had the Windows app or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And it was a screenshot. Sorry, a critical internal error occurred. For assistance, please send a screenshot of this to their support line. Login account acknowledged RC equals not found. And they just couldn't log into any of their accounts on the internet. How
kind of inconvenient.
Oh man. So one thing I'm curious on.
Yeah.
Is if LastPass also uses because they generate their own passwords for your websites. So your Facebook password wouldn't just be NephewTech 2020. If they also use the social engineering, as in like capital I's and lowercase L's, or like putting M's and N's next to each other, so people who do take screenshot, like try to take a picture of it, if the low quality photo of the screen trying to tell the difference between a 1, an L, and a capital I wonder how secure they even are. That's more of just a whole nother topic, though.
Yeah, I think the idea is that the passwords are long and just random characters. So if you have a program that's going to go through and guess passwords based on, they call it a dictionary attack.
Yeah.
So like it goes through and enters in each word in the dictionary, or a series of words in the dictionary, into the password field, and then tries to log in. Because a lot of people use just a familiar word as their password.
Yep. Yeah, because then there's always that they can add like, oh, these are words that are important to the person. So they put in all of their names, all their family names.
Yep. Maybe their street address.
Yep. And all the information they can get on them.
Yep. And then it might guess things like Jesse123 or Jesse123 exclamation point.
Yep. And then
Because
the year, and then like the last 2 digits of the year versus the 4 digits.
Yeah. So like your birth year or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's an interesting thing I hadn't thought about. Like,
Because
sometimes if you're looking at a picture of an M and an N next to each other, it can be hard to tell.
Yep. Yeah, it's really hard.
Or an I or an L or a 1.
Because I had a problem that week is a customer wrote their password down instead of telling it to me.
Yeah.
Which, just tell me your password. You're giving it to me either way. And they wrote 2 L's, and I thought it was 2 I's because it looked like 2 I's.
Yeah.
Which is why random strings of characters are a bad idea if you have to give your password to somebody else.
That's true. But you can probably just change it before giving it away.
Yeah.
To something simpler. Perhaps password 123 exclamation point.
Yeah.
With a capital P, of course.
Speaking of giving things away, GTA 6. It might be on the workbench. It has nothing to do with giving it away. Apparently, they think it's confirmed that it might be in development through a tax return.
Interesting. So I'm guessing the tax return must have had more money on it than expected, as if they were paying more people to develop a new game? Is that what the theory is there?
I'm trying to find out exactly how.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so they're thinking that might actually be in development, which would be great. If they do make GTA 6, I didn't play GTA 5, but like an hour. That was one of those games that I played and was like, no, not for me.
Yeah.
But I did play GTA 4 something.
Okay.
There's like 6 different GTA 4s.
Gotcha.
For a long time. I liked that one. And then GTA 5 didn't like it.
I never really played any of the GTA games. As in, I don't know if I've ever played any of them.
Really?
Ever, yeah. I've seen some streamers play it. Like I've seen Summit1G play some Grand Theft Auto, but I know it's a pretty popular game to stream, but haven't really watched that much GTA either.
The interesting part about the GTA 6 to me is the release years for all the different GTA games.
Okay.
So I attached the Wikipedia article, and it's here to share. And so here's the titles and their releasing times. And it's weird that we're finally getting to see 6. So they start with GTA original in 1997. And then 2 years later, we got GTA 2. 2 years later, we got GTA 3. The next year, we got GTA 4. 2 years later, we got GTA... Oh, we didn't get GTA 4. It was Vice City. And then we got San Andreas 2 years later. And then they took like a 4-year break and got us 4. So they're like 1, 2, 3, 3.1, 3.2. And then GTA 5 came out in 2013. And then we haven't had any GTA game.
In 7 years. Or 6-ish. 7 years. Yeah. We're still early in 2020.
Expansion packs stopped before then. And their handheld games stopped before then.
Wow. Dang, I didn't realize that.
It's just like because GTA 5 was online.
Yeah.
So kick the dead horse while you can, I think was their motto.
Yeah, because online games, in my opinion, have more replayability. You don't just complete all the quests. You play with your friends and I guess race your friends. I've seen people like racing each other.
Yeah. And I think GTA might have just been waiting for the next gaming phase because it's been the same since 2009 essentially. It's slightly better graphics every couple of years, but I think because VR is hitting so hard, I think it's actually gonna happen.
That would be pretty intense.
One game I want you to try playing in VR is actually Payday 2. It's the bank robbing game.
Yeah, I have Payday 2 because I got it free one weekend. I think you probably sent me the link
3
or 4 years ago.
Yeah, it was super long.
Yeah.
Payday 2 in VR is amazing.
Okay. I don't think I ever played it.
It's actually a little stressful.
Okay.
I would argue that shooting someone in Payday 2 VR feels different than shooting someone in Payday 2.
Okay.
Like I do feel like that it doesn't feel as right.
Gotcha. Okay, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Because they are the same height as you, and they do
look like a person.
Yeah, and you're traveling. Yeah, they look like a person versus looking at someone else.
How is the locomotion done in that game?
So there's multiple ways to do it. Teleporting is the easiest non-sickening way.
Gotcha.
And that's where you just point and it teleports you. So basically, I call it like a coin flick teleporting, and it's basically it's like however far you can flick the coin is how far you can teleport.
Makes sense. Yeah, it's a good way of explaining it.
Because then the other ones are like trackpads, so it's just like moving around with a normal joystick and your character moves.
Which is super nauseating in VR.
It's very nauseating. And then and then there's locomotion where it tries to track your hand movement with your head movement.
Oh, yeah. Almost like Wii Sports riding the bike.
It's exactly like that. And it's so unpredictable that you can't just like take one step forward. You're like, one step. Like it doesn't work. Mm-hmm. So the coin flick, you're like, I want to go exactly there.
Yeah.
And you can go exactly there. The downside to this is that you can abuse the teleporting, and there could be a bad guy in front of you, teleport behind him and then shoot him in the back. Like
gotcha.
It's a little cheaty.
Yeah. When you do it, do other players see you just teleport, or is there like some kind of phasing between locations?
So I can't remember. I think there's a phasing because you can play the Payday 2 VR with people who play
multiplayer
with normal.
Oh
Payday
wow,
2.
That's
so you can see the VR
platform.
It's super weird, but it's a lot of fun because then you can
easily destroy
talk
them,
to
probably.
your friends.
Yeah,
because you're all robbing together. So
gotcha. Okay, yeah, that'll be interesting. I'll have to do that.
It's a lot of fun, but yeah. So I hope GTA 6 comes to VR. I think it'll be really fun, and it's obviously possible.
And it's going to be online because 5 was. Yeah. And everything's online now.
I wouldn't mind there being an offline story mode.
Yeah.
And then an online sandbox.
With that. Yeah. Personally.
But I don't want an online story mode only.
Yeah.
Some of us just don't want to have to be around people all the time. We just want a story.
Enough working with people.
Speaking of being around people all the time, this story is going to take all of 10 seconds.
Read the title, and then I'm going to tell... Oh, well, actually, never mind. From your title in the doc, I immediately thought of... There's a video of someone trolling everybody by taking a sticker, an outlet sticker, and placing it on the wall at an airport. Because apparently airports have, like, no outlets. But someone took a picture or a sticker of an outlet and put it on a wall. And then as people are walking by looking for a place to charge their phone, they walk up to this sticker on the wall and try and plug their charger in. But they can't because it's a sticker.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I thought of when I saw your title here. Anyway, the article has nothing to do with that. Other than the fact that it's in an airport.
Yep. It was super harmless. Some passenger just wanted to play a video game. So they unplugged one of the TVs. And all they did was switch the digital input. So they didn't actually damage anything. And they just started playing video games. It's shockingly unexciting.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Airport staff asked the man to stop gaming on the public map display. He asked if he could finish his game. They said no, and the situation was resolved peacefully. Apparently, it was very polite and cordial interaction. They called it a good reminder of what not to do at the airport.
For your information, PSA.
Yeah. It was super unexciting, but it's kind of funny that it happened and everyone was like, okay.
The funniest thing is that... Oh, wait, no, I thought that was him saying no. Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just kind of a weird
it's just like,
interaction there.
Nobody was like...
But nobody flipped out, so that was
that's the
cool.
Good part.
Okay, I saw a lot of articles about this, but this time I didn't add it to the doc. Alphabet CEO, that's the owner of Google, or the company owner of Google, Sundar Pichai.
I'm pretty sure he's a founder of Google. I'm pretty sure this is one of the 3 founders.
Gotcha.
Because one of them stepped down and is just off enjoying money, I think. And this is one of the 2 that's still in it.
Gotcha.
I believe.
Alphabet CEO says there is no question that AI needs to be regulated. And I think I would agree with that.
You will or won't?
I think I do, yeah.
So there's 2 sides on this one, which is how the number 9 thingy news post, I think it's number 9. Yeah. On facial recognition.
Yes.
These 2 kind of run together, I think.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, he's saying that it should be regulated and you can't just trust a company to do the right thing, which is about as accurate of a statement as you can get.
Yeah, and you also can't trust the government necessarily to run with it.
So the facial recognition one's on. You can't trust the government.
Yeah.
Either to use facial recognition, which is AI.
Yeah. Yeah.
Artificial intelligence and facial recognition, I think, are
pretty intertwined. Yeah.
One's from the other. So there's not any way I would understand how to regulate. It's like one of those things that needs to happen.
Yeah, it's a really, it's a complex situation.
Yeah. So I kind of want to skip to this one real fast.
Okay, yeah, let's do that.
So there's there's also this article. That's the words in the right order. On The Verge. New York Times exposed on a creepy new facial recognition database used by U.S. police. What a tongue twister. So it's just this little 5-minute video.
From The Verge.
Yep. YouTube that name right there. How police manipulate facial recognition. Basically, it's not even AI's fault at that point. AI is doing what it's supposed to do. And then, according to the video, police are adjusting it so that they can get single faces just to pull over people or
just kind of investigate people.
Using it as a tool the way it's not meant to be used.
Yeah, almost causing like false red flag type situations. So they'll plug a face into, say, someone commits a robbery and they get a screenshot of their face from the security cameras. They'll just plug that image in to their software system and use that to pull over or, possibly detained multiple different people who weren't involved at all.
Yeah.
Causing just...
So, in their example, they said that the robber had a face like this famous actor. I don't remember his name. And so they just grabbed a picture of this actor's face off the internet.
Because someone who was robbed said he looked similar to
this
person.
So they just grabbed someone who looked similar to it. And then they ran an accuracy test for everyone that was in that location, I guess, like a geographical facial scan run.
Mm-hmm.
And it would find multiple people. So it'd be like, oh, this actor resembles this one to an accuracy of whatever this is, like 20% accurate. So basically it's white male is what they got from this face. So,
because all 5 of these people, or all 6 of these people matched at this
low accuracy.
Yeah.
And then they would just bump the accuracy level up until they get...
To try and minimize the number of faces that get returned.
And then they would get the one face, and then they would go after the one person just to question.
Yep. So it's like a way of filtering out a lot of people in a way.
It's like
narrowing down your suspects, kind of.
It's kind of like reverse shopping almost. Like if you want a product off of Amazon, and you're like, all right, I want this product. So you put in the name. You're like,
yep.
And now I want only this product that's between $5 and $8.
Yeah.
And now I only want $5 and $8, and I want it in blue.
Yep. In a way.
That's essentially what they're doing, except
I want a person with a nose that looks like this.
Yeah.
Or a forehead that looks like this.
Except Amazon was built for you to sort things like that, and AI facial recognition was not built for that intended purpose. And so that's not a thing that's, no matter how hard you regulate AI, in that case, it's not going to make a difference.
Yeah.
You would have to
regulate the way AI is used.
Yeah.
More or less.
Which I think would be hard.
Yes, I agree.
I don't know how you would do it.
Yeah.
But those are 2 very interesting topics on Google saying we need to be more careful about this. And then a Verge article on this is how people abuse it. You're like, well, how do we fix it? And nobody has an answer.
Nobody has an answer. And I don't have an answer either, so I'm not trying to be hypocritical here. It's a really tough situation.
So this looks interesting to me. Super cool.
This clever RC car leans and drifts like it weighs tons, not pounds. Cool. Okay, I was wondering what the physics were going to be.
So
that is really neat watching it drive.
Yeah, so you can see here, like, it actually leans like you would like a normal car. So
it almost has a suspension system, it looks like.
Yeah, so it almost has a suspension system, is what you would say.
Yeah. Is that more accurate than I know?
That you wish it had a suspension. It would be way easier, in my opinion, just to put a suspension in. So
wow, that looks super complex when I scroll down.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
So instead of just putting a suspension system in this car, it has one of those things that your phone has. Gyroscopes with 4 different servo motors.
To control the tilt.
To control the tilts and leans.
Wow.
I think that's way over-engineered.
Does it have some kind of like...
I do like the fact that they put little seats in it, which is adorable.
Just for some extra detail. Does it has like some kind of traction control too to make it drift? Like on the rear wheels? Like they stop the rear wheels maybe or something?
Oh, I don't know.
To get it to lose traction?
I wonder if it could be 2 wheels, like a front facade wheel that doesn't quite touch the ground, and then a rear wheel. But that still wouldn't explain how it can drift.
Yeah. Wow. Watching it looks pretty cool. Seeing what's underneath that shell, though, is... Yeah, you're right. It seems like it's over-engineered.
Yeah,
wow.
I think it would have been easier just to use a couple, like, springy shocks to make it like a real car. You know, like a real car.
Yeah. Wow, that's insane.
But I think it would be kind of fun to build one of these if it came in a kit, which they were, in this article they were talking about. It might eventually become a kit one day in the future.
And that way you could learn to, like, understand how it works.
But I think it would be more fun to build a real car than a car that acts like a real car.
Yeah. You know they make kit cars. Have you heard of kit cars?
Are those like 124 model?
No, they're full-size cars.
Really?
Yeah.
Are they as cheap as the Pine phone?
No.
Oh.
Google Miata kit car. MIATA kit car. This is not really tech related, but I mean it's kind of tech related. And I guess if you click on like images, you can see different images. Yeah. So these are cars made from the Mazda Miata base. So people will buy a Mazda Miata and strip it down and take certain things like the engine, transmission, probably some of the suspension, and then build an exterior shell, which will reduce the weight and make it more like a kind of sporty car.
I wonder how they chose that car.
I think because it's pretty cheap.
Okay.
Somewhat, well, it's already a pretty small car, almost like a go-kart type. A lot of people say that driving a Miata is like driving a go-kart. Or kind of like a Mini Cooper. They say Mini Cooper is like driving a go-kart. So I guess it's just simple enough that they're able to break it down. And then people also do that with, I think, Volkswagen Beetles. They make dune buggies out of Volkswagen Beetles.
Okay.
So that's kind of what you're talking about, building a real car in a way.
Yeah, but I would think it would be like a $75 project car. Like,
yeah, this is definitely not that.
To teach like the younger generation on, hey, this is what is actually happening when you hit the accelerator.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be an actual gas engine because that would be insane.
Yeah. You could do a go-kart, something like that. It'd be more expensive than $75.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely think that would be a good experience for kids to really understand what's going on beneath the hood. Because we're always going to need mechanics until Tesla takes over and all cars are electric.
Oof.
Have you seen the video about the Truckla?
Which,
not the Tesla, yeah.
Yes.
Not the official Tesla Cybertruck, but someone on YouTube. This was probably about a year ago now. I don't know. It was a while ago. But they took a Tesla Model 3 and basically cut off the back passenger cabin.
Yep, and the trunk.
Made it and the trunk and made it into a truck bed. And it looks kind of like, man, I don't know what to compare it to really. But we'll show
it looks
you
like one of those gators.
It does. Yeah, it does. Because it has the rack and stuff.
Yeah.
So, that's a kind of good picture of the back. I wish we could get a side view.
I bet there's one at the end.
But she's not affiliated with Tesla in any way that I'm aware of.
There's a side view.
There you go. So you can see that the front half of the car looks normal, and then the bottom back half looks normal, but then the top of the back is obviously cut out, and there's a truck bed installed.
That's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But
pretty cool. Super cool, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. This is only a 2-minute infomercial because she wanted to make a commercial for the truck.
Gotcha.
But then there's a 30-minute video of them actually building it.
Yeah.
It's super worth watching.
And then there's also a video, and this is the video that I watched. The only video I've actually watched about the truckla was her going around with her camera person and just driving around the downtown and taking videos of people watching and pointing and taking pictures of the truckla because it is so unique.
Because then she would take pictures of people taking pictures.
Yeah. Because it is very unique and it'll catch your eye like a Tesla truck. Whew.
Have you ever been on a Chromebook and been like, man, I really want to play some GTA 6 right now?
You didn't have to finish the second part of that sentence. No, I've never been on a Chromebook.
Have you ever used a Chromebook?
Not actually used one. I'm sure I've probably played around with one inside of a Best Buy.
Okay.
But no, I've never used one.
Oof. They're really worth it.
Are they?
Yeah. I could probably do a majority of the stuff I do on a Chromebook. I could actually do these streams on a Chromebook.
Would OBS run on a Chromebook?
I could use this computer.
Gotcha.
Instead of what I'm using now. Because all the Chromebook has to do is run Chrome.
That's true. Yeah. Because all we're using is the web browser right now. But no, I have not.
All right. But apparently, Google wants people to run Steam on their Chromebooks. Or wants them to have the ability. So I got some tinfoil hat on this idea. Because even in this article, they were talking about how many games can Chromebooks actually run. And I forgot who they were asking. But they asked somebody, and they're like, oh, well, the majority of Steam games won't run on a Chromebook.
But they could probably do the Cloud Play or whatever it's called.
Yep, for Google Stadia.
Yep, exactly. Game streaming.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then I'm curious because Chrome OS is pretty much Google's only OS outside of Android.
Yeah.
Is if they're working towards a more universal OS like Mac OS, where all the Apple devices are basically the same operating system. Because Windows is really pushing towards that universal.
Yeah.
look.
And the the Chrome OS is pretty simple, right?
Yeah. And so I'm wondering if they're working Chrome OS towards Android more and trying to make more one universal Android Chrome experience. And then that would be a great entry for the future because that I think would put them ahead of Windows if their phones were the same as device.
Yeah. And maybe if there were, I don't know, more apps that you could really install on a Chromebook.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it is nice to have an app you can just actually download and install.
It's super nice.
Yeah.
I think if they made them dual booting, so you could do Chrome or Windows, but it came out of the box that way.
Yeah.
I think there's still a lot more. And I think once people realized how much faster Chromebook is,
they might switch. So in the short term, it seems like that would be bad for Google because they'd be including Windows on their Chromebooks. But in the long run, it could be that people find out, wow, I actually really like Chrome OS.
Yeah. Or they need to do something to force people to use Chrome OS. In the nicest way.
You can use Windows or you can use Chrome OS, but Windows can't access the internet.
Windows would just be really slow on a Chromebook hardware.
That's true. Yeah.
Because they're Atom processors and such.
But there are still Chromebooks out there for $1,000.
Yeah.
Right? Samsung's new Chromebook.
Crazy. But yeah, because I still have a couple Chromebooks in my store.
Mm-hmm.
And they're half the price as my refurbished Windows ones. And they're miles faster. It's not even comparison. I'm like, well, if you want fast, get a Chromebook.
If you want fast and all you need to do is view your emails and your Facebook.
Yeah.
Most of your demographic probably.
Yeah. I tell them if you're in here, then you could probably use a Chromebook. Most people that need my help don't actually need the full Windows suite.
Yeah.
some people do have.
Speaking of people.
Oh, no.
This video is sponsored by these people. Jmart Media and
Nephew Tech. We're the best people.
Not associated with Tesla, but hit us up.
Not associated yet with Tesla. The optimal positivity.
Maybe once the Cybertruck comes out, we'll be associated.
I think we just need more live streams. I don't think 4 is enough for Tesla. I think we need to do more live streams.
We need to be on. Oh man, didn't I see a new streaming platform? I don't think I included it on here. Oh,
there's Instagram Live.
There's no longer Instagram TV though.
Thank you.
They discontinued it.
Yeah, I didn't want to put that article in here because it's so boring.
Yeah.
Speaking of boring topics, the favicon. Did you notice it was in your Google search results?
I did not.
So I think I noticed it, but I didn't notice that I noticed. Like it was just like oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know what a favicon is, a favicon is the icon that pops up on your tab when you visit a website. So you visit your website and the tab shows the favicon image and then shows the title of the page that you're on.
So I just read this title, which is "It's Not You. Google added annoying icons to search on desktop." So what I did was I just went to google.com on my computer and I was like, what icons? And I looked for like 10 full seconds and I couldn't figure out what it was. So then I went down to this article and I saw this picture here.
Yeah.
I wonder if it can do with it can't. And I looked at this picture for a while too before I realized it doesn't get any bigger. What I was looking for.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if I'd call them annoying.
I wouldn't call them annoying. So this is like the old Google here, and this is the new Google on the right.
Do you notice the difference? Let him point it out for you because it's very subtle, actually.
Yeah.
But oh, so annoying to the verge.
So I find it useful in a couple ways. One disuseful part is they replace this green ad with this ad. But that's okay because now the ad is in like an easy to see spot. So it's like when someone goes looking, they can see ad and then the website. Mm-hmm. Like it looks, it's easier on the eyes of my.
It's easier to
to associate it with because then it's like, oh, is this ad for the top one or the where does the
ad section end? Yeah.
So I really like it because I think it's going to be easier to spot what website I'm looking for.
So if you see the Verge logo.
Yeah, I know. Like, oh, that's the Verge website.
Yeah.
Now, someone could have just used the Verge's favicon.
True.
To try to get that extra click in which case, man, I wasted a couple extra seconds and went to a bad website.
Yeah.
But it's good. I think it will help with just recognition. I don't see it as annoying.
I don't see it as annoying either. I think it's cool. Were you expecting me to disagree on this one?
Yeah, I thought you would like less pictures, like the old look.
Oh, no. I think has potential to be helpful, and I would not call that annoying.
Okay. The one thing I would like to change, instead of it being, because the old one in green, it was telling you like what the website was and like the side
URL.
pages.
Yeah.
But it's not written out like the URLs, the weird part.
Gotcha.
Like it was just like folder view almost.
Okay.
If they did the favicon and then there's the URL.
Yeah.
And they can almost cut out the majority of the jargon, like they can cut out the https://www dot. They can cut all that out.
Yeah.
So it was just
Google.com.
Yeah. theverge.com/text/ whatever stupid icons now on Google.
Yeah. Yeah, I can agree to that.
But I like the favicons. I think they're a great addition.
Yes.
I didn't care for them when they first started like appearing in my life. Because I was like, great, it's another
one more thing to add to my website.
Well, it's another thing to look at.
Yeah.
And I was like, ugh. But then being a heavy Chrome user and having 30 tabs open or something, like majority of the time, like here I only have between 4 and 12. Mm-hmm. But most of the minimal's 4. But on most computers, I think it's like an 8 minimal.
Gotcha.
The favicons are great.
Quickly identifying which tab you want to go to.
And you can just hit the tab you want. And I love it. And that's what made me change to not hating them.
Gotcha. When it was actually helpful for you.
Yeah, once they become helpful.
Yeah.
That's a great reason to stop hating something.
Yeah. Maybe you'll stop hating me one day.
Never.
Another article from The Verge. Wow, this looks like an interesting headset. Looks pretty minimal, actually.
It looks super minimal.
Lenovo is building another standalone VR headset, but it's not for consumers. Interesting.
So that's super misleading, and The Verge has now put 2 misleading titles back to back for us. Also, another little thing.
Yep.
These little twisty ones.
Uh-huh.
I feel like as someone with hair, that it would pinch more. One thing I don't have a problem with is the elastic HTC Vive original that I have.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't get stuck in elastic hair. But I think I haven't tried it, so I could be totally wrong.
Yeah.
But I have a hard time believing 2 plastic pieces that go in doing that will not grab someone's hair when tightening it. Even if it does let go a little bit, I think from just the heavy sweating and usage.
Yeah.
I'll slowly rip out a bald spot in the back. Of my head. Not even like the back top where everyone balds, but like way back there. But I might be wrong. So I don't know. Lenovo, send me a headset. Prove me wrong.
So Lenovo had previously made the Mirage Solo, which I had not.
I've heard of it.
I don't remember. Yeah.
But it was like a big old flop from my understanding.
Gotcha. So this looks like it was just almost like a testing thing.
So from my understanding is that this is going to go for schools.
Okay.
And they want schools to use it.
Gotcha.
And I think that that's going to be a good play for Lenovo.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you have people that are being forced to use your technology for learning, then they'll know how to use it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like if you take driver's ed and you've never driven a car before, and they put you in the Toyota Camry or something, you're like, wow, I actually kind of like this car. And you would want something more like that car because that's what you were used to. Now, if your parents let you drive illegally, then you might like that car more. But I think that if you get forced to use something, like if you're given a Chromebook in your class, then a lot of kids will like Chromebooks just because they work fast.
Yep. And also, if you're the first VR headset adopted in schools, you've got some money right there. Because the school's not just going to buy one headset, I'm guessing. It's going to buy, right. Yeah. It's going to buy either one for each classroom, or it's going to buy a lot for each classroom, or a lot for a classroom.
Yeah. So then they would have they used to have computer room. They would have VR room.
Yeah.
It'd just be a giant warehouse.
And guess what? There's more than one school that exists.
So
once a school invests in your system and says, hey, this is really helpful, guess what other schools are going to do? Say, hey, that looks really helpful. Let's buy some.
So another curious thing is, do you think this will be used to teach real subjects like math and language arts, or for PE?
Hopefully not PE. I could actually see one of those real sciences like you're talking about, or real subjects, or however you put it, or even art classes, like making 3D art.
Okay. Like 3D modeling would be super cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Because instead of having to move around the camera to adjust vertices, just be able to walk around like pulling out parts.
Move your head.
Yeah, I think it'll be super cool.
Yeah. This headset from Lenovo still seems pretty new, so we'll see how good it actually is. Because if it's a flop and then a school ends up investing in it and it doesn't go well, that could be bad for VR. But I think eventually VR in schools will not be uncommon. I know when I went to school at community college, all of my classrooms had computers in them. No VR headsets. But one day those could be VR headsets.
Did they all have projectors too?
All the rooms did, yeah.
Something in all the rooms I did had... I only took computer classes.
Yep.
Oh, I hope that's not the dog.
Yeah, so all my computer classes had a computer in them. I did take like a psychology class or whatever it was that did not have computers in there. But all my computer-oriented classes had computers. But yeah, soon you could see like all the three-dimensional CAD classes, computer-aided design classes having a VR headset. Then that'd be pretty cool. So we already talked about 9. 7 things your Android phone can do that iPhone users can only dream of. So I honestly didn't really scan over all these, but I want to do that now and see how many of these I actually take advantage of. So, okay, the first thing I do take advantage of. Use the apps you want, not the apps Google wants you to use.
So I'm curious on that one. What's one of the default Android apps that you don't use?
My messaging app, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
So I use the default messaging app.
I did for the longest time, but my provider actually has their own messaging app, which can give you some extra like access to like old text messages and that kind of thing that I found pretty convenient.
Okay. That's pretty neat. Yeah, I haven't found a reason to switch off my texting app. I can change the font size to small and it texts. So I haven't switched.
Gotcha. And I actually expected this point to be a little bit different, but on Android you can also just download a .apk from website, which an APK is the application file format, whatever. I don't know the acronym.
Yeah.
Which I'm not sure if you can do that on Apple. So if I were to go, I could go on to, what's it called? Android Studio, which is the program you use to develop Android applications. And I could write up a program, compile it, download it, and I could email that file to you, and you could install it from your email, not have to go on any kind of app store. Okay. Which is, you have to actually go through some security steps before you do that. But you can still do it. Whereas I'm not sure if Apple has anything like that for iPhone.
I have no clue. You're asking the wrong.
Yeah,
not Apple user.
But that is one advantage in my eyes of using Android. It makes developing an app and debugging it much easier because you don't have to keep uploading stuff to Google Play Store. Yeah, blah blah blah.
Only non-default app that I use on my phone is the music. I use VLC on my phone, and I absolutely hate it. I would not recommend using VLC on your Android phone. It's terrible. I can hit pause, and I can just close the app. So I'll like double swipe and swipe it up to close the app. And then like I'll disconnect my phone from Bluetooth. I'll reconnect my phone to Bluetooth like I'm getting back into the car after grocery shopping.
Yep.
And it will start auto playing again.
Even though you've closed the app?
Even though I had closed the app.
Wow, that's weird.
Like there's some really weird things with VLC that I don't like.
Yeah.
And I just have yet to switch back.
Yeah.
I'm going to use it till I get rid of this phone.
Second point, Google Assistant for the win. Not applicable to me. I don't use Google Assistant or Siri.
So I started using Google Assistant a little bit more.
On the bike, right?
Yeah. I said I haven't been able to ride the bike recently, which
true. It's been kind of cold.
It's been kind of useful. One of the most useful things I found is being able to do 2 commands in one sentence. So I could say, hey, telephone, open up, what's it called? Spotify, and play this playlist.
Gotcha.
And it will auto open up Spotify and play the playlist.
Okay. Or
I can say, hey, turn on Bluetooth, start Spotify, and it will do both.
Gotcha.
And that is crazy useful.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Siri can do that or not, but I didn't realize you could do like dual commands. Mm-hmm. Like I want this and this done.
Yeah.
And it most of the time gets both of them. I think I'm a mumbler. I talk too fast. I know. Sometimes it doesn't understand me. It's okay. We're getting through it. But yeah, I gotta say, using Google Assistant for some hands-free usage is pretty nice.
Yeah. Use 2 apps at once through split screen mode.
How often do you use split screen mode on your phone?
Very rarely, but not never. The
Really?
only time I ever use it is if I'm watching a YouTube video and want to Google something.
Oh, that's very fair.
Because you can, on this phone, you have the app open and I think you long press on the...
So I don't think we call this split screen because that's another point.
It's split screen.
Oh, you are actually doing and not just playing the YouTube video in the corner?
Yeah. I can show you.
Because I think you're talking about not split screen.
I think I'm talking about split screen. All right, so I've got a YouTube video up here.
Yep.
Playing, or I would have it playing,
Oh,
and then
you
here,
do actually.
yeah, it's actually split screen.
Because I believe YouTube can do. Oh, we're gonna mute that real fast. Yeah, so you can have it just playing in the bottom corner.
Okay, I must have an old version of YouTube because.
And that's how I use it.
Gotcha. That's actually, I like that better, to be honest. Especially because some apps don't support split screen. So if I'm watching a YouTube video, for example, I can't open up YouTube Studio to view my current subscribers or current watch time because YouTube Studio doesn't support split screen.
And then for y'all that can't see it, it's like if this is our phone right here, this bluish one, his is split right in the middle, and he has YouTube on top and a web page on the bottom.
So it is true split screen.
Yeah, so his is actual split screen, which is why I thought he was wrong. And then mine, the whole phone is Google, like a Google search, and then just a bottom corner is a video, but then you can drag the video wherever, kind of like the Facebook chat bubblehead thing.
Yeah.
And that's the best way to explain that without actually being able to show you.
Mm-hmm.
So mine's not technically split screen, but it's shared screen.
Yeah.
Picture in picture, I think is what they call it.
Yes, I think so. Both are nice. I guess the advantage of split screen is that I can still interact with the YouTube video maybe a little bit better than you can with it.
Way better.
being but the way you have it is better because you can do more with the full screen.
Most of the time,
yeah.
When I do that, I only want the audio anyways.
Yeah. Yeah. I really wish YouTube, well, the free version of YouTube, had a way you could play audio with the screen off. Almost like a podcast style.
Or just not even load the video altogether. So you can listen to the songs on YouTube, like your YouTube playlists.
Yeah. But unfortunately, Google wants to make money or something.
Yeah. Been doing so good with YouTube on that.
Wants to lose less money.
Yeah.
Oh, this one's definitely
This is the
true.
one I definitely use.
Customize your home screen just how you like it.
So when I had an iPhone, that was the worst part, is that all your icons were on the top half of the screen, and it was terrible.
Yeah. Do they have widgets that you can put on your front screen?
They didn't when I had the 4S.
Okay.
So they might now.
What I have right now set up on my phone, and honestly, I did this like 2 or 3 days ago, is I have the weather on my initial screen. And then I have some apps that I use occasionally, so YouTube, Google Maps. And then I can view the weather for the day, and I can view the predicted weather for this week.
Okay.
Just so I can kind of plan my week around what the weather's like. And then I have on the next page my time.
Yeah.
And then a calendar past that. So I have it actually customized.
Very, very
a lot, yeah. Which, to be honest, 3 or 4 days ago, it was not customized like that. I still had YouTube, and I still had Chrome, and I still had maybe something else on the home screen.
Yep.
But it's pretty customizable. And then, obviously, you can customize background, which I'm sure you can probably do on iPhone, too.
Yeah, so the things that I do with my phone that I really like was I made it so notifications don't show any details. Like, it just says notification from this app.
Yep.
That way
you received a new text message, not you received a text message from Jesse saying
this. Yeah. So that's one thing I like. And my home screen is pretty much just like this screen here. It just says, except it's just the time. So it just says like the time and the day, and then just little notification icons on the bottom.
Yes.
And then I only have one home page. Mm-hmm. There's no swiping on it at all.
Gotcha.
And it's all the apps I use.
Yep.
I can fit all on one page. And then the weather is in the top far corner because I'm left-handed. So I don't have to touch.
Because you generally don't have to interact with that. You just
and then all my icons circle around the bottom left corner as usage. So the most used are in the bottom left. And then as you go out, it's less used icons.
And then the next point on this list is you can use launchers to fully customize your phone. So you can even download customized icon packs for your phone. So you could download monochrome icons or black and white icons or customized icons to your liking. Or customized launcher, which I actually used to have a launcher that allowed me to, instead of setting up my home screen in a 4x5 grid or whatever it is currently, I could do like 10x20, which would be almost
So in my version of Android, you can change it.
Okay. Yeah.
But not to that drastic. It's like you can do like a 4:3 up to like a 7:9 or something.
Gotcha.
So it's within reason. And I use that my icon's huge because I only use like 4 apps. And then just as I've slowly added apps of things I use, and it's slowly gotten a little bit tighter.
Yeah. And when I did that, my phone didn't support that by default, but I installed another launcher. And I don't remember the name of the launcher.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. But then you're saying like icons, and then all of my everythings I always just black out and then minimal colors.
Yep.
I like the 1 or 2 colors. That's plenty.
Simple. Nova Launcher, I think, is what it was called, which is actually on this list. Okay, don't use that.
We might just skip this one.
Never get bored thanks to automatically changing wallpapers.
Do you hate your battery? Do you hate having a battery with charge on it?
Yay!
Use wallpapers that continuously change.
Also, animated wallpapers, if that's your thing.
I can't stand animated wallpapers.
Watch a video and text at the same time. Wow. Okay, this might be what you're talking about.
Yes.
Like the popped out video. Or also the split screen, to be fair.
Yeah.
Picture in picture, yep.
Oh.
Ooh, even picture in picture for video calls. So, for example, you're calling your buddy up on the Skype or whatever. You want to Google something. You can
do it
you can do both of the things at the same time.
In case your phone screen was just too big.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. All right. So that's enough of that Android talk. Let's move over to the iPhone talk.
This is why you should buy an iPhone.
From the website BGR. Don't know if I've ever visited BGR before.
So,
this brilliant hidden iPhone feature shows one of iOS's biggest advantages over Android.
We're going to read this entire article to you. We're going to take an hour and 20 minutes here.
Sounds really impressive, right? But if you scroll down, there's this screenshot. Looks like German, but might not be German.
Yep. So it was over on Reddit. User shared the photo. And so this Joker card here was user edited. They put that there so they didn't share their email. But then they're like, what else looks weird about this image besides it not being in English? Ooh. And it actually took me a minute.
Yes, I did not figure it out until I read below the screenshot.
Yeah, because I thought they were signing in or like saving it.
Yes.
Not that they were looking at it.
I had no idea what was going on here.
So apparently, you can view your login username and password for websites on your phone, which is already kind of a little bit weird and creepy, but all right. And so when you take a screenshot of it, apparently it auto erases the password. The password. Yes. So. And that's why you should buy an iPhone.
Kind of cool, I guess.
It's a neat little security feature.
So do you think it's going to be included in the next version of Android?
Yeah. I wonder if it is included. I don't even know how to look up a password on my Android because it's all stored on my Chrome profile.
True. Yeah. Huh.
Don't hack me.
Yeah. I think they were just going for the title there, trying to get some clicks. That clickbait. Because that article was disappointing.
Speaking of disappointing.
Mixer. One of our 3 streaming platforms, 4 streaming channels.
Microsoft's Mixer fate is looking a lot like Windows Phone at the moment. I didn't actually read this article. I just assumed you would.
A little bit. So apparently Mixer's been let's see, kind of pumping it up as if Mixer is doing good because they have more active channels than Twitch. But then this Twitter user said, Mixer has more active channels than Twitch is a bad take and a bad headline, regardless if the cold fact is true. Look at the rest of the stats. So apparently the rest of their stats are not looking good.
I would have to agree, though, that it would be a ratio. So you don't want a ton of streamers, but you also don't want a ton of people watching a couple streamers. You want a nice, even
like an even distribution type.
Yeah, because then because the problem is if you have too many streamers, not enough watchers, then you have a lot of overhead from you would need too many server resources to keep it up. Essentially, it wouldn't be profitable. But then if it was the other way around, where you had a couple streamers and then a lot of viewers, those streamers could be bought by Twitch.
Then you'd lose your viewers
then
along with the streamer.
Kind of like what Mixer did to Twitch.
Yeah. And then there's also a list of features that someone said that Mixer is missing.
And it's a big list.
And it's a pretty big list.
Rather than exhaustively detail all of the concerns.
Here's an exhaustive list detailing all of my concerns.
There's more bullet points here than there are topics tonight.
Yeah. So I haven't really followed the home Mixer thing. But apparently it's not looking great because Windows Phone definitely did not do well. But, it might make a comeback.
So
if Windows is still pushing for that.
Do you watch any live streaming?
Very, 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 very little.
All right. And if you do you know what platforms you usually watch? I can tell you mine.
It'd be either YouTube or Twitch.
Okay.
But really, neither. I don't use either one.
So I would almost say the most live streaming I watch would be Facebook.
Okay.
And most of the time it's friends. It's not even like professionals.
That's true.
The second would be YouTube, and that would be due to two different channels. And those are like the only two channels I would watch a live stream on. Mm-hmm. And it's not ours. Sorry. I don't watch our live streams.
It'd be kind of creepy, actually.
I just need to hear my own voice.
For the record, guys, if you've ever listened to your own voice on a recording, it sounds awful. It sounds so much different than it sounds in your head. So,
if it sounds the same, then
editing a video of yourself talking is really hard.
That's why we don't edit.
That's why we don't make videos. All right.
Speaking of talking
and making new things. Wow, that's loud.
Hey, you had
mute
sound come out of your speakers.
This Linux smartphone is now shipping for $150. We talked about Pine 64's Pine phone before, as well as their Pine watch. I think that's what it was called.
Yeah, and they also have a Pine Book Pro.
And the Pine Book Pro, yes. It's designed for developers and early adopters. I'm interested to know if this is designed for software developers in general or developers who are interested in developing apps for the Pine phone, Pine 64 phone.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't read this article, but I'm currently considering getting this phone because, to be honest, I need a new phone. My screen is broken. It's currently covered in a roll of Scotch tape.
Like
the power up and power down buttons are completely broken off.
It's like the whole roll of tape too at this point.
And yeah, the screen's cracked, which is, why the tape's there. Anyway.
So I am on their store at the moment. We're going down to the phone because I want to show you that one line that had me iffy on it.
Okay.
There it is. It's such a big store. Everything's individually listed. So they've put the disclaimer up top, which is great. But this wasn't the one I was curious on.
Okay.
They're like, hey, this is for developers. Don't buy this if you're not planning on being a developer, early adopter type person.
Yeah.
But then down here in fancy red note, they had several different notes. It is this one here. When fulfilling the purchase, please bear in mind that we are offering the Pine phone at this price as a community service to Pine 64, Linux, and BSD communities. If you think that a minor dissatisfaction, such as a dead pixel, will prompt you to file a PayPal dispute, then please do not purchase this Pine phone. The Pine phone. Thank you. And then up here, which is where it got kind of weird. Where do they say it? Pixel. Not that one. There you go. This one. Small numbers, 1 to 3, of stuck or dead pixels are a characteristic of LCD screens. These are normal and should not be considered a defect. Which I think every other manufacturer will give you a refund or a replacement if you have dead pixels.
So it sounds like
they're using lower quality parts to keep the price down. That was my first instinct.
Yeah.
Is that they're like, we're not going to go with the prime A quality parts. We're going to go with these lower end parts to keep the price lower, so that they can have some type of profit margin, I would assume.
Yeah.
Because it is a $150 phone, but the specs of it aren't good.
Okay.
Like I wouldn't recommend the phone.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'll definitely have to look into that before buying it, obviously. But
yeah, because like little things, like it's 2 cameras, and the selfie front camera is 2 megapixels. The rear one's 5 megapixels, which is good enough for the majority of phone use.
But it's pretty junk.
So like if you're sending Facebook photos just to each other or Snapchats or something, it's plenty. But if you go to the mountains, you're like, whoa, look at this view. You could go, well, look at this view, and send it over Snapchat and call it a day. You can't be like, whoa, look at this view, and then put it on Facebook and expect people like, wow.
Yeah.
I can't even see the pixels.
Yeah, so I may end up going with the 3A because the Google Pixel 3A because of the pixels. No, because
it is much higher quality.
I do actually kind of want a good camera.
Yeah, because the other little things I didn't mind as much. One odd thing is that it said it was an LCD, and then here it says the display is an HD IPS captive touchscreen, which IPS is not the same as LCD. I'm pretty sure that those are actually different technologies. LCD, I believe, is backlit, so it has like a pixel board, and then light shines through. I'm pretty sure that's what LCD is defined as.
Gotcha.
And then IPS, it actually lights colored diodes, so it doesn't have a backlighting.
Gotcha.
I believe that's how it works. I could be wrong. And then the resolution I didn't care about. A 1440 by 720. That's plenty for a phone, in my opinion. Like, you're not going to get crazy good looking images, but we can go to the screen density calculator again.
No, I think we're good. Speaking of, I think we're good. SpaceX's rocket went off as planned, exploding mid-flight in an abort test.
This is why, if you're an astronaut, don't piss off Elon Musk.
He'll blow you up. So the idea behind this test
Yahoo News
was, I know, right?
What a mess.
Hello, 2008. First of all, no crew were on board this test. They're testing to make sure that it would be safe for the crew in the future. But I believe the reason they did this test was to make sure that in the event of something going wrong, they could successfully eject the crew capsule away from the rocket and blow the rocket up in midair rather than have this rocket crash back to Earth and fall on something important or...
like a launch pad.
Yeah, like a launch pad or...
because then if you have another rocket would be coming in, then you're like, well, stay in the sky. Like, you can't just hold a rocket in the sky. Here we go. I'm doing Yahoo News justice. We got Internet Explorer. No, just... please just work. No. So they were just blowing...
yes.
Which part of it's a little bit funny, ironic, because they want to reuse these rockets, and they're like, we need to practice blowing one up.
It's like a safety switch, basically.
Yeah. They want to make sure the safety switch works.
Yeah.
Which I guess is a good thing.
Yeah.
How mad would you be if your safety switch didn't work?
Pretty mad.
Wow, this is a terrible experience.
Yep, and that's really all I had to talk about that. I saw it. I saw the title, had to include it, thought it was a bad thing, but then I realized that it was intentional. So
now, I'm curious if they did, and how large of an area they had to send like to news outlets saying like, "Hey, we're going to blow up a rocket in the sky."
It's on purpose. It's not our stuff going wrong.
Because then you'd have, and like calling all the local police departments, because like you could probably see it 100 miles or 50 miles away, an explosion in the sky, and I would imagine a lot of people called police stations like, there was an explosion in the sky. Like, I don't know who to report this one to.
Who do I call? Ghostbusters. And
that was pretty much it, which is amazing. We made it so far.
Yes. And actually had a lot of talk about some of those articles too, which was good.
Yeah. Wow. An hour and 10 minutes. My streams did pretty all right.
My stream is still up.
Yeah, that's what matters. You know what we didn't do, though?
Get viewers?
No.
What's that?
Is it making sound? Unmute. Oh, okay, good. We're going to test to see what's on.
Oh, yeah. We can see those bars there, but...
Yeah. The one thing I don't trust is technology and everything else.
Huh. Very straightforward.
Yeah.
Well, you have a good week, and we'll be back next week to talk about some tech topics.
Oh, yeah. We're going to talk about all the topics.